Do you think that you should have life insurance on your adult child? For how long should you? I don't know if there is a right or wrong answer. Well, there is not. Okay. I think it's going to boil down to the parent, the child, and the whole situation, right? Because now you take both of my girls. They are responsible. They are mature. They are, and they're adults, okay? And they all have life insurance themselves, okay? But now I'm just talking for me for a moment, okay? But because I am who I am, the parent that I am, again, that's what I say. It depends on the child, the setup, and the parent. That's what it boils down to, okay? So for me, I have always had life insurance on both of my girls. So to me, makes me feel a little uncomfortable, right? As long as I can afford it. And I just really, not that I feel like it's my responsibility, okay? I don't really feel like it's my responsibility because they are responsible. But if anything happens to them and there is no life insurance at all, then I will be responsible to make sure that the final expenses are taken care of. So no matter what, and we find this to be true, not with just your children, but when there are siblings, right? You take my mom, she's 70 something years old, but there is still some of those adult siblings that's not responsible. And if something were to happen to one of them, it will fall on my mother, okay? So when it comes to our children, that same thing. It will fall on you. If they're not married, right? But if they are married, then it's the spouse. It's their responsibility, right? To make sure that each is taken care of, right? And not only that you should want to, right? If you're married, you should want to have coverage because this is the same person that's in your household that is helping pay the bills, right? So if something were to happen to this person, that means that you would experience a financial hardship, okay? All right? So with that being said, how do you feel about that? How do you feel about making sure that your child has life insurance? Now, earlier today, I had someone to make a comment, and I think it was a great comment on the video. She said, if the child is married, no. Now, this is her, right? So we're, just as I just mentioned, it depends on the child, the setup, and the parent, and what their thoughts are, okay? So she said, if the child is married, no. But if not married, yes. So that's that's her take on it. Okay? That's why I'm asking you guys and gals. Okay? So, and I haven't responded, which I will respond to her, but I'm thinking that, and I'm going to give her a chance to make that her explanation, but I'm thinking that she may be thinking that one, if the child is married, no. So she really feels like, I'm thinking, she probably feels that because he's married, he now has a responsibility to take care of his family in event of his demise. Okay? And then if they're not married, she said yes. Well, she then thinks that it is part of her parental responsibility to make sure that this child is taken care of either way. Okay? All righty? Okay, so insurance for married teenager. Okay, all righty. So teens as well need life insurance as well, even if they're married, right? Because here's the thing, when you get married, a lot of times, and when you're young and when you get married, you may find that the mother, and I always talk about the mother because the mother, is like the hen, right? She's going to make sure that all the babies are taken care of. So that's why I lean to the mothers. But there are some fathers that feel like they should have insurance for their children, but mainly mothers, and we all know that, okay? That's just us. So if this child is young and married, or could be 30 years old and married, it really doesn't matter. But because in our community, it has always been in the older groups, right? Our mothers, grandmothers, and grandparents, right? We always made sure that the child carried life insurance, that we had life insurance, or our parents always made sure that they had life insurance on us. Now, in our community, it wasn't a whole lot, right? Because we just wasn't shared it. We just wasn't told to get $100K, $200K on a 2-year-old, okay? All right, but granted, the grandmama knew to have some insurance on the children. Now, so when you get married, a lot of times, this is the only insurance that a young person has, right? This is what they have. And it's what mama set up for them, probably when they were 2 or 5 or 10, okay? And this is all that you now have. So because mama really didn't tell you that she only has $10,000 on you, or she only has $5,000, all you know is mama has life insurance on me. Okay? And unfortunately, sometimes we don't know how much that is until there is a demise, right? And then sometimes, we may figure it out sooner, right? Maybe if you get this talking to, you hear me, right? You hear your insurance agent, which is me, talk about this, and it may jog your memory. Say, wow, well, my mom has life insurance on me. Let me call her up and see. Now, so when it comes to that, a lot of times the mother, and especially if she's an older mother, she's had this policy, she's not going to want to let it go. She's not going to want to turn it over to you for you to start paying, because she's concerned that you may not pay the bill. Let's just be honest, okay? I see this all the time. So you can't blame her. She wants to make sure that if something happens to my child, that's a mother. If something happens to my child, I have to make sure that he or she is taken care of, that her final expenses is taken care of. Okay? All right? So when that does happen, and then the person gets married, you cannot depend on, as a married person, the insurance that your husband or even yourself, mom, has on him. Okay? You can't depend on that. First of all, it's not your policy. It's her policy on him. She still owns it because she got it when he was 10 years old. He doesn't even own it. So now you're dealing with, it's your husband, right? You don't have life insurance on him. He didn't have any. All that he has is what mama had on him when he was 2. She still has it. She kept it. She's not paying much for it. So it's not a hardship for her, right? So now something happens to him or her, right? You can't even, you don't have a leg to stand on, really, is what I'm saying. You might be the wife, but if you don't have anything on him and mama has the policy, then what? Then you might be in front, but you're going to be to the side, because mama is the one with the money, okay? Mama's the one with the money. Okay? She's the one with the policy that can cash it in and pay for this benefit, this death benefit here at the funeral home. Okay? All righty? Okay? So you want to be mindful of that. You want to be mindful. If you're married and all your spouse has is life insurance, what his mama has on him, you and I need to talk. That's a question that you need to ask him. And if it's a girlfriend, it's something you need to ask her. You need to ask her tonight. Ask her. Because, you're married with children and you have nothing in place, only what his mama has on him. And I'm going to tell you the truth. I've seen it before. I've seen it a few times in 18 years. When the mama has a life insurance and you're married, and even if you're not married and you're just living together,